So, right as I scheduled a stream for what would have been the sentencing hearing for Alicia Andrews that was scheduled for this Monday, the 8th, you guys let me know, thank you to Created by EJF, that sentencing was delayed. So, for anyone that's going to be looking for the sentencing and wondering what happened, there was a motion to stay proceedings filed with the trial court in relation to a petition for writ filed with the District Court of Appeals. And let's pause for a moment to discuss what a petition for writ of prohibition is. It's a way that a party can ask a higher court to challenge the jurisdiction of a lower court. And within the context that we're going to see as we move forward in the docket for the Alicia Andrews case, this is going to center around the motion to disqualify Judge Michelle Sisco, which Sisco herself denied. The theory is that a biased judge has no authority to continue presiding over matters where they would be biased. It's basically the defendant saying to the appellate court, hey, this judge shouldn't be on my case, and I need you to remove them before anything else happens. So we're going to go through that real quick to see what's going on. And there's no new date set yet. So I'm imagining this will be at least 30 days away until we get some type of District Court of Appeals decision to even figure out when a sentencing date, if it can still be scheduled, will be scheduled. So let's look and see what happened. On Thursday at 8 p.m., we have this motion to stay proceedings, or in the alternative, to continue the sentencing hearing pending resolution of petition for writ of prohibition. So this is still at the trial court in front of Michelle Sisco. It's State of Florida v. Alicia Andrews. And what are they asking for? So, pursuant to Florida Rule of Criminal Procedure 3.800, 3.800, Florida Rule of Appellate Procedure 9.310, for a stay of the proceedings in this case, pending the resolution of Ms. Andrews' petition for writ of prohibition, and in support states the following. So, this is going to be different than the motion for a new trial and or renewed motion for judgment of acquittal post-conviction. If you missed that and want to go take a look at that, I'll link it in the description. We have the rundown here. So you guys know that the trial started on October 20th, 2025. On October 31st, defense counsel wanted to disqualify Judge Michelle Sisco, the court, from presiding any further over proceedings in this case. On the same day, the court denied that order. And then also on October 31st, busy Halloween, Ms. Andrews was acquitted of the charged offenses, but was convicted of a lesser included offense of manslaughter. In the video linked in the description, where we go over the motion for a new trial, we do also talk about the sentencing timetable. So if you're curious about that, go check that out. Ms. Andrews' sentencing hearing was set, and is still set at the time of this writing, for December 8th, 2025. We know now that that's off the table. On December 4th, 2025, pursuant to Article 5, Section 5B3 of the Florida Constitution, as well as the Florida Rules of Appellate Procedure 9.030C3, Ms. Andrews filed a petition for writ of prohibition requesting the 2nd District Court of Appeal to disqualify the court from any further participation in this case. A writ of prohibition is the proper remedy when a trial judge erroneously denies a motion for disqualification. They cite some case law here, and based on the aforementioned and the pending resolution of the writ of prohibition, Ms. Andrews requests that the court stay any and all further proceedings in this case, particularly the currently scheduled sentencing hearing. So they're saying, look, this decision's important. We think that the trial judge erroneously decided not to disqualify, and we think all pending proceedings should be stayed, delayed. They should not happen until there's a resolution on this new issue. And you can let me know in the comments. I think there's probably good reason why they don't want Michelle Sisco to be the judge that presides particularly over the sentencing. So probably a strategic move here from defense counsel to get this stayed. Defense counsel has conferred with the state, who opposes the relief sought herein. So state wasn't willing to stipulate and agree to this. State does not want this to happen. Defense here argues that the relief requested would not prejudice the state, and wherefore defendant Alicia Andrews respectfully requests that the court grant this motion to stay proceedings, or in the alternative, that the sentencing hearing pending resolution of petition for writ of prohibition, and grant any other and further relief as the court may deem just and proper. So there you go. They submitted that yesterday. That was to the trial court. And hop back over here. It was denied by the judge. Trial court denies the motion for a stay within the trial court level, right? So Sisco was like, nope, And in her motion, Alicia Andrews alleges that the court issued a written order denying her motion for disqualification. She alleges that on December 4th, 2025, she filed a petition for writ of prohibition with the 2nd District Court of Appeal, requesting the appellate court to disqualify this court from further participation in this case. Defendant requests as such that this court stay any and all further proceedings in the lower court pending resolution of her petition for writ of prohibition, specifically including the sentencing hearing that was set for December 8th. So the court says, after considering and reviewing the record, trial court finds, defendant is not entitled to the relief on this motion at this time. In particular, as of the entry of this order, an order to show cause has not been issued by the appellate court that would require the proceedings in this lower court to be stayed. So Sisco got right on this. So consequently, the court finds relief is not warranted on the defendant's motion. So this was yesterday on the 5th. The judge went and looked. And on the trial court docket, we can see that there's an order from the District Court of Appeals at first, and I'll pull it up real quick, saying, hey, this is the District Court of Appeals. We're actually going to deny appellant's motion for expedited issuance of order to show cause, but we're denying it without prejudice because they failed to submit it with the standard requirements. I think they were missing the fee payment. So Judge Sisco, at the time of filing her denial at the trial court level, was correct that at this District Court of Appeals level, this wasn't properly issued. So denying your relief. And you'll notice when we're looking at the Court of Appeals, now the caption is switching the roles. So now it's Alicia Andrews as the petitioner versus the state of Florida, the respondent. So hop back over to our trial court timeline. You'll see after this denial from the judge, there's another order from the District Court of Appeal. And after the fee was paid properly, the Court of Appeal, the District Court of Appeal, says, hey, we're granting this. We're going to grant this renewed motion for expedited issuance of an order to show cause. Within 30 days, the respondent, so the state, shall show cause why this petition for writ of prohibition should not be granted. The petitioner may reply within 15 days of service of the response. This order operates as a stay of the lower tribunal proceedings pursuant to Florida Rule of Appellate Procedure 9.1. The stay remains in effect pending resolution of the petition or until lifted by order of this court. So there you go. That's why we are not going to have a sentencing hearing proceeding on Monday. And lots of back and forth because the request was denied and then now it's in place. Now the stay is officially in place. I think the last little bit here, I did try to look at the docket entries for the petition, right? So over with the 2nd District Court of Appeal. But unfortunately, and perhaps this is just because this all happened in like the last 36 hours, these documents are all giving me not currently available. So I'll keep checking to see if the petition or anything interesting. We got to see these orders because they were forwarded over to the trial court. We just pulled them up. But if anything interesting comes up over here, I'll see if we can access it and I'll do another video on it. So just a quick one. Was looking forward to seeing you guys on Monday for this, but I'll see you when I see you. Please hit the like on the way out. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and please have a good weekend. Take care.